Welcome to the Disney DreamWorks negotiation presentation by Amber Perez. DreamWorks Pictures is a production label founded in 1994 by Steven Spielberg, David Geffen, and Jeffrey Katzenberg, responsible for movies such as Saving Private Ryan, American Beauty, Gladiator, Castaway, and Shrek. The company was able to create movies that touched its audiences. The Walt Disney Corporation is a company established in 1923 that specializes in family-friendly feature films. In order to expand into more adult-themed fare, the company created the distribution company, Touchstone Pictures. In 2009, the Steven Spielberg company DreamWorks went into negotiations with the Mike Eisner-led Disney in order to secure distribution rights for DreamWorks through the Disney-owned Touchstone banner for DreamWorks' upcoming movie releases. During the same time frame, DreamWorks was also in negotiations with Universal, with whom Spielberg had had a long-standing relationship with. On the table were the rights to the over 6 new movies for that year and up to 30 future films over the next 5. These negotiations came into fruition because DreamWorks was unable to reach an agreement with Universal for distribution and sought out other avenues. DreamWorks came in with the bargaining position of wanting a total investment of $250 million, with $100 million upfront and movie slots on Disney's pay channel Stars. Disney had the bargaining position of 10% on each film and the rights on home video and TV outside of India. The underlying interests. DreamWorks was in a bind during the negotiations with Disney. Their Bollywood partner Reliance refused to give any more funding unless they were able to raise more capital. The company was being funded by Spielberg, and after Universal found out that they were in secret talks with Disney and had left the bargaining table, had no other large distribution houses left to approach, so the deal with Disney had to work in order for the company to survive. Part of DreamWorks' underlying interests were to secure a distribution deal with a major company that would help to gain the company better worldwide recognition, along with the ability to create films in the manner in which they had grown accustomed to, with large budgets. Now, Disney's underlying interests revolved around the fact that their company had seen poorer DVD sales and had less consistent showings at the box office for their fare. Disney at this point was looking to find a way to grow into a new market without truly taking on 100% of the financial risk, along with being able to use their incredible infrastructure to the best of their ability. When it comes to the negotiation techniques utilized in the making of this deal, the first that comes to mind is DreamWorks' backup plan. When they first began to negotiate with Disney, they had been in talks with Monolith Universal, where co-founder Steven Spielberg had offices. They felt that in order to get a good deal, they needed the leverage of knowing that they were willing to walk away from the table. Having Disney also on their table allowed them the freedom to push harder for concessions from Universal. They knew they had another option brewing, so they were willing to take harder stances. The second negotiation technique utilized in this deal, again by DreamWorks, was a dirty trick. While still in negotiations with their friends at Universal, DreamWorks had secretly begun talks with Disney, another major distributor. By keeping these talks secret, DreamWorks was able to put more pressure on Universal to accept their concessions. This trick was working. Universal was agreeing to many, if not most, of their demands, but as soon as it was leaked that DreamWorks was also in talks with Disney, Universal immediately dropped out. This trick would have worked and helped DreamWorks push for a better deal, but instead, it backfired and left them scrambling to cement a deal with the only distributor left at the table. The third negotiation technique used in the process of this deal was the idea of mutual benefit. DreamWorks was a company with a successful creative team. They had ideas and they had films that could revolutionize the industry. Disney had an amazing infrastructure. They had a global network and access to premium channel spots on Stars. DreamWorks needed money. They had financial backing locked behind a gate by their Indian partner Reliance until they were able to come up with $350 million. Disney had money. With a company over 80 years old and a leader in entertainment and a well-established brand identity, they had a need to expand into more adult fare without endangering their own brand. These two companies had something that the other one needed and were able to understand this fact, which led to them creating a mutually beneficial agreement that had both parties win. Now, during the actual negotiations, both parties were able to keep an open mind while dealing with one another. The two parties were able to reach an agreement because they were able to respect one another and acknowledge that they were both leaders in their respective fields. The two companies understood that they needed one another to push beyond where they were into a new stratosphere of business. This allowed for the two companies to finally reach an agreement that was mutually beneficial to them. DreamWorks was able to gain a partner who would help them to raise the capital they needed, while Disney was able to expand into a new demographic without risking their brand identity. What went wrong in this negotiation process had more to do with how DreamWorks treated their dealings with Universal while they were also negotiating with Disney. By keeping their Disney negotiations secret, DreamWorks burned bridges with long-standing partners and in essence were forced to reconcile any differences with Disney because they were in desperate need of a powerful distributor. In the future, the company would do well to be honest in practical ways in order to keep their options open to help garner a better deal. An agreement was reached by both parties, and it amounted to Disney investing $250 million with $100 million upfront, allowing DreamWorks films onto their Premium Stars channel, and handling both marketing and distribution through their Touchstone Pictures imprint for 30 films over 5 years. DreamWorks would provide the 30 films in the 5-year allotted time, allow Disney to retain rights for home vid and TV outside of India, and allow Disney to keep 10% of the net profit of all films released. The agreement reached was one that was mutually beneficial to both parties and should create a long-term meaningful relationship. By allowing both parties to get what they need from one another, they set the stage for a fruitful future relationship. Disney was able to help DreamWorks raise the necessary capital to tap into the waiting reservoir that their Indian partner Reliance held in check, while DreamWorks was able to both infuse Disney with new talent and help them break in to a new demographic.